What if the real story of language isn't in textbooks? What if it's actually hidden in, well, in the sounds we make without even thinking?
Primal sounds, almost.
Exactly. Today we're diving into something pretty unconventional. It's the work of Dr. Mahmuджон Kучкаров. He was a physicist, actually, turned independent language researcher.
And his ideas really challenged the status quo.
They really do. We're looking at his Odam Tili theory, that's human language, and it basically asks, what if language isn't just something we learn, like rules from a book?
Right, not just convention.
But something deeper, maybe innate, like encoded in us somehow. It's a huge idea, and yeah, we're going to try and unpack it today.
And the source material itself is, well, it's interesting. We're drawing from an expert article. It was put together by Kuchkarov's assistant, aimed at a, let's say, skeptical Russian audience.
Okay.
And published by his Odam Tili Academy in New York.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. The article claims that the powers that be, academia, religion, government, they've been silent.
Silent.
Because according to the source, Kuchkarov's findings just don't fit. They don't align with the established ways of thinking about language.
Okay, so that's our mission then. How did Kuchkarov investigate this matter of silence, as he calls it? How did he find this supposed structural code in speech?
And the big question.
Yeah, why the silence? If this is so groundbreaking, why isn't it being talked about by, as the article puts it, the speaking civilization?
It's a fascinating puzzle.
And Kuchkarov's approach, coming from physics, that seems key here. He wasn't looking at grammar in the usual way.
No, not text or rules. He actually compared it to his physics work studying dead matter to make atoms speak.
Okay, so how does that translate to language?
He focused on the body, on the natural, emotional, even reflexive sounds we make. Grunts, gasps, that sort of thing.
Like listening for a universal language hidden in plain sight? Or sound?
Pretty much. The core idea is that these sounds aren't just random noise. They're seen as a direct result of our bodies interacting with the environment.
Ah, okay. So the meaning isn't arbitrary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It implies an inherent universal meaning, something built into the body and consciousness, as the source says, not just something we all agreed on culturally.
That really flips the script on how we usually think about where words come from.
Completely.
And he actually tested this. It wasn't just a theory on paper.
Right. He did this field experiment, quite specific actually, down in Florida, 2016 to 2017.
Florida. What did he do?
At a tennis academy called Florida. He had 26 volunteers, different ages, genders, ethnicities, and he put them under controlled stress, physical and emotional overloads.
Pushing them to their limits, basically, to see what sounds came out naturally.
That seems to be the idea, to capture those raw, spontaneous sounds.
And what did they find? Were there patterns?
Apparently, yes. The data showed specific repeatable sounds linked to what Kuchkarov termed innate semantics, like a built-in meaning.
Examples.
Okay, so the sound H that apparently came out consistently when someone was lifting something heavy.
Okay, like an effort sound. Makes sense.
The sound Q, sort of guttural when choking.
Right.
I when hiccuping, that internal sound. A when crying, maybe the most universal sound. And E when showing disgust, like you can't swallow something.
Wow.
And maybe the most striking. The sound T linked to the sound of a bone breaking, like a branch snapping.
A T sound for a snap, that's specific.
It is. And the point isn't just listing sounds. It's the claim that these sounds consistently appeared in these situations across different people.
So let me get this straight. He wasn't just observing. He was claiming proof that these specific sounds inherently mean something universal.
That's the core claim. A fundamental human lexicon, you might say, predating learned language.
Okay, but how does a sound get this meaning in his system? How does it become hand or effort?
Right, that's the structural part. Let's take H. You lift something heavy, you use your hands. Right?
Usually two, yeah.
Look at the letter H. Two vertical lines, like arms or hands, connected by a bar. He sees a direct visual link. He even points to the Cyrillic X symbolizing hands, and also the number 10, like 2 hands, 5 fingers each.
Okay, interesting visual connection there. What about others? You mentioned I for hiccuping.
Yeah, he connects to internality. A hiccup comes from inside.
Right.
And he links this to words across languages signifying internal space, like in the room, in English, in Uzbek, in Russian. They all point inwards.
And the letter N.
N gets interesting. He frames it as negation of emptiness. Think of an open space. Then an object enters it. That object captures the space, defines it by being in it. That's the end.
Capturing space. Okay, how does that play out?
Well, think about A. He links A to open space, or the beginning. Like the first sound a baby makes, A, crying, before any learning.
The first sound in open space.
Exactly. So A is space. It's beginning. Now combine it with N, the capture of space by an object. You see this structure, A plus N, pop up. Like an apple in English. Or na stol yabloko in Russian. On the table, an apple. Or ana olma in Uzbek. Here's an apple. The A opens the space. The N anchors the object in that space.
Huh. So an apple isn't just grammar, it's like describing the physics of the situation. Object in space.
That's the interpretation in his theory, yeah.
Yeah.
The object affirming its presence.
That's quite a different lens to view simple words through. And you mentioned an example about a tree that ties things together.
Yes, the tree example is pretty compelling according to the source. It tries to link ancient words, modern ones, and physical actions.
Okay, let's hear it.
So you have the Sumerian word tin, meaning tree. Compare that to the Uzbek word tinch.
Which means?
Silence, calmness, stillness, like a tree standing still.
Okay, a conceptual link.
Then there's the sound. Kучкаров connects this to the sound of small branches breaking. Think branch in English. Or the Uzbek word for branch, chu.
The chi sound of snapping.
Yeah. And he claims this cheat sound consistently means small across languages. Chico in Spanish, small. Child in English. Shakwalok, infant in Uzbek. Shukuk, child in Turkish.
That is a striking pattern if it holds up.
And he brings it back to the body. Our fingers, they look like small branches.
Uh-huh.
And if you snap them, or imagine breaking one, you might get that sharp shoo sound.
Okay, where is this going? Fingers and shoe.
It connects to communication itself. Words like speech in English, rish in Russian. And get this, the Uzbek word nekta.
What does that mean?
It means how many. But he interprets it literally as counting by fingers.
Ooh, so the idea is we counted on our fingers before we spoke complex words.
That's the radical suggestion, that in a pre-linguistic phase, fingers were the first tools for symbolic communication. Gesture, number, movement. Spoken by the hands before the mouth.
So speech itself, the word speech, might be rooted in the action of using fingers, these